Hey everyone, this is David Brown from Lyco Birds with an update for the fall 2020 broad-winged hawk migration. Today is Friday, September 18th, and first I want to talk about some of the sites that had big flights today, and then talk about the forecast for the weekend. So if we look at hawk count, let's look at a couple sites that had over 1,000 birds. So first one, Scotts Mountain in New Jersey, 1,058 broadwings. Mount Peter, New York, which is near the New Jersey border, 1,347 broadwings. The highest that I saw, Quaker Ridge, Connecticut, about 2,700 broadwings. And the last one, Blueberry Hill, Massachusetts, about 1,500 broadwings. And I'll show you in a minute where these different sites are on the maps. Other sites, a lot of sites throughout Pennsylvania and here at Ashland in Delaware, we had a couple hundred birds today. So I think a lot of broadwings were on the move, but those sites I just showed you were where the really big flights occurred. Let's take a look at the weather. So this is the weather map for tomorrow. You see there's just a high pressure system sitting over the mid-Atlantic in New England. So what this means in terms of hawk watching is that we're going to have blue skies, sometimes called blue skies of death. So it's going to be very difficult to spot the birds, but if you get there early in the day or if there's a late day push, then the birds will be lower. In the middle of the day, it'll be very difficult just spotting with binoculars, trying to pick out what you can. And that will probably be true on Sunday as well. Let's take a look at windy and look at the winds. So these are actually the winds for tomorrow. If we go back, these were the winds today. Very strong north winds, maybe a slight easterly component. So tomorrow it's going to be more of the same, a little bit more of an easterly component into it, but a little lighter than it was today. And even though the winds were fairly strong today, it seems that there was still a decent number of broadwings on the move. So I wouldn't worry too much about the strength of the wind being an issue. I think that these birds are going to be taking advantage of the weather, the sunny skies, and they're ready to go. So don't worry too much about the wind disrupting thermals, although if the wind were a little lighter, it might be better. If we jump ahead to Sunday, we see it's much of the same. We zoom in a little bit. Again, it's more of a northeast wind, so maybe not ideal for some of the ridge sites who might get bigger overall flights if the wind was out of the northwest. But it's a northerly component. It's sunny skies. It's the peak of broad-winged hawk migration. I think these birds are going to be moving no matter what. Now, if I point out where those different sites were, let me zoom back out a little bit. So most of the sites where the big flights were today, we had here in sort of western North Jersey. We had here on the border of New Jersey and New York. The really big one was Quaker Ridge, which is down here in the corner, just north of New York City. And then the other one up in Massachusetts is up in this area. So it's a lot of hawk watches in this general region. So that's why I'm thinking that over the next couple days, we could see big flights in eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. If we saw earlier this week, we had big flights out at Allegheny Front down here in southwestern Pennsylvania. So I think the way that it's happened a lot in past years is after there's big flights in central and western Pennsylvania, we get the big flights down here in Delaware. Obviously, there were a lot of birds on the move today up here. I'd expect them to be moving tomorrow. Hopefully, reach us down in Delaware, and also hopefully reach you at your hawk watch wherever you happen to be. So overall, I'm very optimistic about the conditions for this weekend, and the northerly winds are actually going to continue into early next week. Although we see they'll be very strong down where I'm at. You get more of some of the winds southerly as you get farther west, lighter as you go north. We go ahead to Tuesday. We see it'll be a shift to westerly winds most places. So the bottom line is that this is probably the best weekend that you're going to get for broad-winged hawk migration. I would recommend getting to the sites early, hoping for a liftoff, or staying late, hoping for some descending birds, because in the middle of the day, they're going to be difficult to see. So I hope everyone has a lot of luck. I'm excited for this weekend. I hope we get a big flight here in Delaware, because last year we kind of missed out. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the results are, but I'm very optimistic that people are going to see a lot of broadwings this weekend. This is David Brown from Lyco Birds. Thanks for watching.